Welcome in Sports Talk at the Stadium from Starkville, Mississippi, where South Carolina goes down to defeat tonight at the hands of Mississippi State 27-14. It was a long, hot, late summer night here in Starkville, so hot that a thunderstorm came through the area and forced a delay of over an hour at halftime. So it threw things behind a little bit. You know, the time in the locker room at halftime probably did the Gamecocks some good because they came out in the second half and played like a different team. Unfortunately, the team they were facing was still Mississippi State and not Vanderbilt, and the Gamecocks had dug themselves such a deep hole in the first half that they just could not battle back. Even though on the scoreboard they won the second half and they moved the ball better and they played better on defense in the second half, but their first half was just atrocious in this ball game. And afterwards, Will Muschamp pointed to tackling as the number one culprit. He's very upset with a number of players on the defensive side. The only one he really identified when asked a question was Chris Lamons, and he said they will address tackling in practice this week. And he's got to find players, he said, who want to tackle, who want to stick their face up in there. The issues on the defensive side, especially in the first half, were evident because they could not stop the quarterback, Nick Fitzgerald, who they made look like Dak Prescott all over again. This guy rushed for 195 yards and threw for 178 yards and busted tackle after tackle as on those quarterback read option plays. And, I mean, I don't think he's a great speedster, but he certainly ran away from the Gamecocks on one long run, and on many runs he just ran through their arms. So item number one for Muschamp this week, as he put it, will be to address the tackling. Then he's got to address the quarterback situation. Perry Orth could do nothing with the offense in the first half. The offensive line played terribly. In the second half, Brandon McElwain came in and gave them a spark because of his athleticism, and they needed that because they needed a quarterback who could go side to side and create something instead of standing in the pocket and wait for the Mississippi State defense to just collapse on top of him, as was the case with Perry Orth. So McElwain came in and did some nice things in the second half. He threw his first two career touchdown passes. He threw for 126 yards, and his mobility helped him to keep some plays alive. So moving forward, I'm not sure if it's not time to unleash Brandon McElwain full time. Though you can't blame everything on Perry Orth, and Muschamp's not about to do that. But McElwain is certainly the more talented guy. And with an offensive line that's beat up and struggling right now, you need a quarterback that can make something happen with his legs and his arm. Other than that, there were very few bright spots for the Gamecocks. I guess the other bright spot on offense was Hayden Hurst, who broke through with a career-high 8 catches for 68 yards. Casey Crosby had 3 catches. Brian Edwards, who had such a good game against Vandy last week, caught 2 passes, but they came late. Sean Kelly punted extremely well with an average of 49. So you didn't expect the Gamecocks to go undefeated, did you? But, you know, you're a humble host here. Like some of you, kind of caught up in a couple of things, the win at Vanderbilt last week and Mississippi State's loss here to South Alabama kind of led me to believe the Gamecocks might come in here and steal one. But Mississippi State came out of their locker room determined to make up for last week for their fans. About 60,000 were here with their cowbells. This place is incredibly loud, and there's never a quiet moment. Now, if it's not cowbells, it's rap music blasting through the loudspeakers in this stadium. It's never quiet in this place. And so they came out fired up, and they were going to make South Carolina pay for what they didn't do last week, and that was beat South Alabama. And make them pay they did. They came out and buried South Carolina in the first half. And then even though the Gamecocks played better in the second half, just did not have enough to pull off the miracle comeback, and that's what it would have been. So the Gamecocks fall to 1-1, and I don't think anybody would have expected anything really better than that to start the season. Now they come home for their home opener next week against an East Carolina team that's got some offense. So the defense had better find something before the Pirates come in, and a chance for the Gamecocks at home to go to a 2-1 before they go to Kentucky and face a struggling Wildcat team. So still a chance for them to have a good month of September if they can win next week and then go to Kentucky and play better. You can check out all of Muschamp's comments as well as those of some of the players right here on the website on Sunday. Muschamps conference call, we'll have that up after 7 o'clock. And, of course, full discussion with the hosts and with you on Sports Talk on Monday night. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Sports Talk at the Stadium from Starkville.